What's up, Buttercups? It's me, Amy Young. I'm coming at you with a Friday freestyle to hopefully answer the question, when is the appropriate time to have the what are we conversation? Like the what is this? What are we doing here? You know, maybe we're bumping uglies, but is this thing going places or not? I think that might be my favorite euphemism for sex ever, bumping uglies. Isn't that just that, or making the beast with two backs? That's from literature. There's so many good ones. I digress. So yeah, when do you sit down with your bump and ugly partner? Or maybe you haven't bumped uglies yet. Maybe you're waiting to do that till you have this conversation potentially. And you need to clarify what are the terms of this relationship. I had a conversation with a client a few weeks ago now. She had scheduled kind of an emergency session. She's a Single and Slaying It graduate. That's my coaching program for single women. And she was really excited. Actually, she was feeling all of the feels because she was excited because she'd met this really great guy and she's been doing so much amazing work on herself. And I've seen her through that journey, and she's like, holy shit, I met this really great guy. It's going so great. It's very different. It's easy. He's wonderful. He's so kind. We have fun together. It's not complicated. It's really cool actually. But she was also simultaneously oh God, it's happening. What, I like this person, and where is it going? And I'm getting invested, and I don't want to get too invested if I don't know how invested he is, right? It's hedging our bets. It's we're excited, but then we're don't be too excited. Or we're I like you, but we're but how much do you like me? It's this push-pull. I love this stage in dating because people are freaking the fuck out. And one of the ways to soothe the freak out, to help yourself feel a few less of the uncomfortable feels, is to have that clarifying conversation of what are we? What is this? And when people ask me when do you have that conversation, I sort of, it makes me a little sad inside, because it just implied in that question is that there's an appropriate time to have the conversation, as if someone could just make a blanket rule that's 6 weeks in. When you're 6 weeks in, just talk about it. When you're 3 weeks in, 2 months. At 2 months, you want to make sure you clarify things. Relationships are never like that. Nothing in relationships is ever like that. There aren't these delineated timelines, which can be frustrating, but also really liberating, because what it means is that you just have the conversation, you bring it up, and you address that need when you need to. So let's all just take a moment and empower ourselves with that knowledge. It's I can have the what are we conversation when I feel it's needed. I'm allowed to bring that up. If I'm entertaining something with another person, it is within my jurisdiction to clarify what the terms of our relationship is, what the terms are. So she was coming to me, feeling all of the feels, really excited, equally anxious, nervous about where things were going. And through the course of our coaching conversation, she realized, shit, fuck, I'm gonna have to talk to him. I'm gonna have to talk to him soon. I'm gonna have to bring it up, because the way that things are going, I'm just getting more invested. I'm just getting more emotionally engaged and involved in this. And if he doesn't see it going somewhere, if he's Tindering other chicks right now, then I need to really scale back and slow down, right? So as we're talking about it, we were discussing all of the feelings that come up with that, and how vulnerable it is to start that conversation and to just put out the words of I really do like you, and I really could see this going somewhere, and I want to know what you think. It's inherently so vulnerable and exposing, because what could happen, what might happen, and this is what she was so terrified of. They could go, oh, yeah, no. Oh, you thought this was going so? Oh, no. Oh, God, no. All my dating apps, I'm never deleting any of those. This is not a thing. That's the terror. That's the fear, right? We're going to be rejected. We're going to be made to feel stupid. We're going to be made to feel anxious and weird. So we avoid it. We don't do it. We don't do the thing. We don't have the conversation that we know that we need to have, because we're afraid of what the answer is going to be. But that answer has the potential to set you free in all regards, if we can see it that way. And this is what we were talking about in my coaching session with this amazing woman, right, who's done all of this work to put herself in this position where she's really ready for the kind of relationship and life-changing love that she knows that she wants, and she's holding herself to a higher standard, and she's exercising healthy boundaries. And it was time for her to like step into the role of like, you know what? I'm actually not even having this conversation for him. I'm not having this conversation just so I can get into a relationship. I'm not having this conversation except for any other reason than I know I need to have it for me. And I need to know. That was the main thing that she kept saying, is like, I just need to know. One way or the other, I just need to know. And either way, it'll be fine. And this is what I want everybody to like really take home with them from this video and like snack on it and ingest it and just let it seep into all of your pores internally. You will be okay either way. Where you will not be okay is if you continue to let a situation grow and evolve and deepen and you get further invested and you don't know where you stand. That is the space. The gray area is where we're actually not okay. How perfect, I'm wearing a gray sweater. You will not be okay if you just exist in that gray sweater space forever and ever, but you will be okay if you give yourself permission to ask for clarity, knowing that you can work with their answer. And they might come back and say, I'm sorry, I can't do that. Or like, that's not what I'm looking for right now. Or I need more time. Or yeah, we're totally on the same page and let's do the dang thing. Whatever their answer might be, it's just useful information. And you're not having the conversation to rope someone into a relationship with you. You're just having the conversation to get yourself out of that dang gray zone. And you're allowed to do that whenever you need to do it. To protect yourself, to feel safe, to feel comfortable, to know what level of space or distance might need to be created, to know that it's safe to invest deeper. If we don't have those hard conversations, if we don't lean into the vulnerability and we don't set those boundaries, we are setting ourselves up to fail. So we're role playing on the call, which I always do. I'm always like, okay, so let's just have the conversation, you and me, you be you, and I'll be him. And she was like, could barely get the words out, right? And she was saying like, this is so hard. And I was like, I know it's so hard and you're gonna do it anyway. You're gonna do it. And the words aren't gonna be perfect. And we don't get to have scary, vulnerable, boundary setting conversations with perfect words, with like total comfort, without being a little bit scared or poopless about what the response is gonna be. But you can ease into it. You can give yourself permission. You can exercise the words. And by the end of it, of our little exercise, she really was like, I'm gonna do this tonight. No, I can't do it tonight. You know what? I'm gonna do it tomorrow. She was like ready. She was like so sure that it was what needed to happen for her to feel okay. For her to feel okay and comfortable. Because that's what exercising boundaries and having the hard conversations is all about, is like, what do I need so that I can stay sane, so I can protect my own well-being, so that I can feel safe, so that I can be comfortable, so I know where this relationship stands and where it's going. What do I need and how do I honor that? And it's very hard because the world tells us that we should have no needs. The world would prefer, society would prefer if you just didn't have any needs. And if you could feel comfortable and safe no matter what. And newsflash, you know, hate to drop a hammer on that, but that's just not real. Everybody has needs. So the long and short of it is that she was scared. And she didn't have the perfect words because there's no such thing. And she wasn't sure if it was the right time. And she wasn't sure what his response would be. And she stepped up to the fucking plate and had the conversation anyway. And of course, spoiler alert, he was like, yeah, of course, we're on the same page. Yeah, no, I'm ready to make a commitment to you. Let's do this. And she was so scared and she was so worried, and it all worked out after all, right? And how often is that the case? That we were so scared and we were so worried, and then whoop, clarity, whoop, information. Oh, good, now I know. Either way, either way, either way, you will be okay. So props to another woman in the world, you know, setting a standard and honoring a boundary and doing what she needed to do and empowering herself with that knowledge, right? And being willing to walk away from something if it wasn't going to be right for her. It's fucking badass. And yeah, two, just if you're wondering, should I have this conversation with this person? You probably should just have the conversation. If you're going back and forth, it's probably time to have the conversation. And know that you don't need to have the perfect words ever. And and you don't need to have like the composure or no, when we're having hard conversations, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna feel a little like boot quakey. That's okay, do it anyway. You can, you will. Special thanks to my BWC, my beautiful, wonderful client, for letting me share her story, for all of our learning and growth. I'm so happy for her and for them. If you would like to keep up with me on the regs, there's a few ways you can do that. One, you can subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can also sign up to be on my email list at amyyoungcoaching.com. The link is down in the description box. I would love to keep up with you that way. And more than anything, I just hope that you're having a great day, night, weekend, wherever you are. I hope you're loving life and feeling great in your own skin. And I hope that we'll cross paths again very soon. And until next time, I'll see you.